Surprise day, break on through surprise day, and the thing can happen and it usually does. 5 live, no jive, here we are, break on through. Robert Cobb, what's going on, my man? Let me make sure my volume's turned up proper. It is now. Ken McGill. Come on in the house, y'all. I got a good one for you today, I think. I think it's going to be good. There's Michael and Misty Gooch. Trusty Nathan Trusty. Brandon. Aaron. Marvin. Oh, yeah, they're all coming in now. Man, we'll go ahead. I meant to show you this the other day, but I did the tour of the Break On Through studio here, the museum. And that's my main John Adam, who just popped in right there, said last week, museums are always changing. And man, there's been some big changes in this place since the weekend. Hey, maybe I'll whip it around and show it to you here in a little bit. But I meant to tell you about this. I got this in the mail from my main from Philadelphia town, Eric Perfect. This is a band with him and his wife, Lisa Christ Superstar. And man, you can look on Facebook, Instagram, look that name up. I know it's backwards on here, but when they send you one of the records, it won't be backwards. I got a black vinyl one. There's a black and a red vinyl option. There's some good stuff, man. She's a hotshot guitar player now. I ain't lying to you. We've played with them before. We played with them when they were called Workhorse 3. Jim. David Moshing. Damn, I ain't seen you in a while, son. Talk about another good thing in the mail today. I got it actually from Ugly Shyla down in the great city of Austin, Texas. Her and her man Jim Clayton. What kind of last name is that? Yeah, they sent me some stuff. Look here. Sealed WCW cards. And Shyla herself made me a genuine voodoo doll. And if you like this, man, and you want you some, you just contact Shyla on Facebook. That's Ugly Art Dolls by Ugly Shyla. Right there, there's a card. Timothy Layton wants to know what I thought of Ric Flair's last match. Man, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. I'm going to be honest with you right now. I did not watch it. I saw some clips on Facebook and Instagram, but that's... Man, I could go into a whole... I did go into a whole thing about it a while back, but I don't know. Well, speaking of Ugly Shyla's voodoo doll, I'll just let you know, this is all I got left of the voodoo dolls. You can get you a Joe Young or a Barry Hannibal. $10 each. Or $15 for both, and that includes you some shipping. Can you dig it? I got one Cosmo in the package left. Someone claimed it, but they haven't gotten in touch with me yet. But I'll let you know about that. Man, I'm going to tell y'all something. I know a lot of people who love to give advice. And I'm going to tell you, You know, some of the people that would give you the most non-solicited advice are people telling you about kids, how to raise them, what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right, what you need to do. And they're usually people that don't or never had kids of their own. But in the same vein as that, I also know a lot of people that like to give out advice for how you do your band. And they give this advice. You would think, well, you're giving me this advice. It's because these methods or these practices that you're turning me on to worked so well for you. Most of the time, that is not the case. Now, if you want to be a big, successful band, you got to listen to me because you're in a big, successful... No. You started a band that was successful? No, but I know what to do. Oh, okay. You are very wise. That's something for you Ultraman freaks out there. But, oh man, I'll tell you what. A long time ago, Tom O'Keefe and I sat and listened to Pat Todd from the Lazy Cowgirls sit and talk to us for nearly 2 hours. Broken up. But 2 hours. You know what he was doing, though? He was giving us advice because we were bands basically on the same level. But he was doing something we hadn't done yet. He did a full tour of the United States. We've done some up and down the East Coast stuff, you know, but we're getting ready to go out to the West Coast and all, and man, he gave us. He wasn't telling us, "Oh, this is what you got to do," or if you want to be really successful, you need. He was saying, "This is what we do," meaning him and the Lazy Cowgirls. And man, we asked questions. He answered the question. You know, ask, answer. Ask, answer. Did he give us any guarantees that by listening to his all-knowing advice, that we would be successful? No, he just said, man, this is what we do. And I will share with you what we do. Well, I don't think it's because of that advice, but it sure didn't hurt. But I'm in a band that's going on its 40th year. Tom O'Keefe is now a road manager for a very popular band named Weezer. So I don't know. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to lay some advice on you, some unsolicited advice. I know it's unsolicited. But I'm going to tell you some things. And am I going to tell you how to become the biggest band on the internet? Nope, because I don't know how to do that. I'm not in the biggest band on the internet. But you want me to tell you what I will tell you? How to keep a band together. Is it easy? Nope. But I'm gonna tell you some signs, man. When you see these signs, this is when you need to cut somebody. The band member that must bring their wife or girlfriend to every practice, show, anything the band, photo shoot, anything the band's doing together, she's got to be there. Cut him. Cut that member. And if it's a woman member in the band and she has to have her boyfriend or husband everywhere, cut her. So that when you go on the road, you know, the big party's going on. You don't want your wife or girlfriend around the big party. Well, you know what? When someone thinks that traveling on the road is a big party nonstop, that is proof right there that they've never done it. Now, Martin says, what if your girlfriend is into band? Well, that's a circumstance that you will, you obviously have to scratch that rule. Like when Fred Cole was alive, you couldn't tell, you can't bring your wife on the road, son. But she plays bass and sings. Oh, okay, well. But, yeah, get rid of that band member. The band member who joins the already established band and thinks that they will bring their take of what you do to the band and bend it and shape it to what they think it should be. Get rid of them. That band member is usually the band member I'm about to tell you about next. You know, I hope all bands, whether you've been together for 200 years or 2 days, I hope you have band meetings. One thing I hate more than anything is let's just get together and jam. Man, I ain't got time for jam. I want to play. I want to move forward. I want to do stuff. Jam. Well, let's just get together and jam. See how it goes. Now, you already know how it goes. You already got the band going. You know how it goes. But you have band meetings. I'll tell you right now, many ANTiSEEN practices, especially when all the members still lived in the Charlotte area, we get together and sometimes the practices just became where we sit around and just start talking. And then before you know it, the whole 2 hours, 3 hours is up and all we did was talk about it. So you've got to do that. In any thing where you have a few people with different schedules and different lifestyles and different stuff, you've got to sit down and discuss stuff. Now, see, you think, well, damn, Jeff Clayton, how you have band meetings, mofo? You got to tell me something. What I'm going to tell you. On Messenger, on Facebook Messenger, we have band meetings where we all get into a well-lit area, nice AC with a fan going, and we all pop on there and we all see each other and we talk. And man, sometimes those meetings last up to an hour, over an hour. Because see, when we get together, any type of weather, and we do the camel walk, we TCB, we take care of business now. It's not like get together and hang out. I mean, we enjoy hanging out, with the guys and stuff, but we get together because they've traveled a long, long way. They're away from their environment, they're away from their work, and they come to do this. So we really take care of business, man. I'm gonna tell you what. You have band meetings. And it's no secret I'm the head honcho in ANTiSEEN. But when you have band meetings, right? And the meetings are, all right, has anyone else got anything to say? Anything, you got any stuff you want to get out there? Just go ahead and either squash it or expand on the plans or what. You got anything to say? No, man, that's good. I'm good. I'm done. But that one guy wants to have the auxiliary band meeting. And sometimes that guy wants to talk to me. At other times, they talk to another member. Hey, man, in the meeting, he was saying blah, 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 but, why do you pull somebody aside after the meeting with, I was thinking, how come at the meeting you didn't go, hey, man, I was thinking, why don't you do that? I'll tell you why you don't do that. Because you have a hidden agenda. Get rid of that guy. The next band member you need to get rid of immediately if you're a new band starting. Get rid of the guy or gal that feels the need to play in 17 bands. Damn, Jeff Clayton, you just described everybody in your band, mofo. You gotta tell me something. What are you talking about? Malcolm Ten alone plays in 76 bands. Right, okay, but the difference between playing in this band that has been together for 4 decades, not 4 years, not 4 months, not 4 weeks, but 4 decades. A decade is a 10-year period. We've been together right at 4 of those. And our band is on opposite ends of the seaboard on the East Coast. And we now have a unit that is so skilled at what we do that it allows us to be able to go do other stuff. Man, I'm going to tell you what, a while back, it's been a long time, but we had like a brand new lineup, me, Joe, and 2 other fellas, and one of them, like, we haven't even played our first show yet. Guys already talk about my side project. Side project? What about front and center project? Let's discuss that. Side project already? Damn. Well, damn, they're playing you playing ANTiSEEN and Judas Bullethead, and you're starting up Jeff Clayton's Dimension and all that. Well, what the hell, man? You got to tell us something. Well, I'm telling you, ANTiSEEN is first and foremost. But you guys know we don't tour constantly. We ain't like I Hate God, man. We ain't on the road like all the time. We may do stuff once or twice a year. So that leaves us some space in there. And man, when we record a project, we already know what we're going to do. And we take care of business. So, if you're starting a teenage rock and roll combo and you want it to last more than a month, you can take the advice I just gave you. Because it is tried and true, because I have backed up what I just told you. Don't forget, the First Lady, Miss Clayton, she'll give you some advice on shaking that Western medicine. Get rid of it. Certain factions of this society want you dependent on it. Break that. I got a top 10 today that is going to blow your mind. This is my top 10 professional wrestling managers. Now, I know a few of you have brought this up. And this is gonna spur some conversation. I will go ahead and say right at the beginning, and I know, every time I do one of these top 10, what about, well, maybe that's in your top 10. And just because it's my top 10 don't mean I only like these 10. These are my 10 for today. Actually, most of the time. Number 10. Probably one of the first wrestling managers I ever watched on television. And I thought he was just as dangerous as the guy he was managing. He was managing the Masked Superstar. The manager's name was Boris Malenko, father of Dean Malenko. Boris Malenko was a wrestler in the 60s. Had quite a bit of fame as a wrestler. But when I first started watching wrestling, he was a manager. And he's the one that was managing Superstar when Superstar took a lit cigar and burnt Mighty Igor's eye. Oh, yeah. I ain't lying to you. But yeah, I always liked him. I mean, I may have told this story before, but man, I'm going to tell you, when I was growing up in New London, North Carolina, just outside of Albemarle, that's the biggest city close to that, Albemarle, North Carolina. Man, we're out there, in the damn sticks, playing around, jumping bike ramps and stuff, and there was a Cadillac dealership right there in downtown Albemarle, right in the city limit. And all the wrestlers used to go by this place. And I don't know. I mean, I guess back in those days, like the appearance was everything. Like certain wrestlers had to show up in a Cadillac. And it's the only it's the only explanation I have for the story I'm about to say, man. It's like me and my friends, Randy Size, Pat Smith, and all. We're all on a side street off of Highway 52. You know, and we're just, raising hell, breaking bottles, throwing rocks, eating blackberries, all kind of shit. And we see this green Cadillac come around the corner, and we're looking, and the guy driving has sunglasses, a hat, a big cigar. The guy in the passenger seat's wearing a mask. Man, it was Superstar. It was a masked Superstar in Boris Malenko. Why they're taking that back road, I don't know. But all I could figure, they were going their way to Pfeiffer College. Because Pfeiffer used to have cards there all the time. That's where I saw my first card, And you know how wrestling promoters are. Even back then, they weren't the best at letting you know when things... if it wasn't on the TV saying, oh, tomorrow night, a big card in Bisco. You didn't know what was happening. But a lot of you that know a lot about wrestling, you've heard the stories that back in those days, the masked wrestlers used to put their mask on like 50 miles from the arena. That's the only explanation I have. Wrestling manager number 9 for me, Ron Wright. Man, I like that guy. I liked him as a wrestler. I haven't seen a whole lot about everything I've seen about the guy. I love it. In Smoky Mountain, he did a thing. And he was up there in age, too. He was doing a wheelchair gimmick. And like for weeks and weeks, he's out there in a wheelchair. Then all of a sudden, at some point, he gets up and pop. I love that kind of shit, man. Ron Wright. Look up some of his stuff on YouTube. There won't be a lot, but look that good shite up. Number 8 would be I won't say it, would be Paul Bearer, also known as Percy Pringle. Man, he helped make that Undertaker gimmick. I think if Mark Calloway had just been doing it by himself I don't know that it would have taken off as well. What do some of y'all think? I think that character helped propel that whole thing, man. And I really enjoyed him. I really, all through the whole time that he was managing. Number 7, Captain Lou Albano. Talk about a nut. I don't know what all to say about Captain Lou. Everybody here knows who Captain Lou is. What do you say? I mean, his delivery, the way he talked, he was a nut job. What was there not to like? Number 6, Scary Sherry Martel. No matter who she was managing, man, she was great. And she was only scary when she was shrieking there. She was actually a very attractive woman and a very nice woman. I actually got to meet her. Man, it turned out to be a few months before she passed away. And she was really, really cool to talk to. And a really nice person. But man, some of her stuff, you just go look up some of that. If You don't remember back when she was managing? Go look up some of that on YouTube. You will dig it. Can you dig it? My number 5. And y'all gonna say, "Damn, Jack Clayton, what are you saying that's number 5 for?" Because it's my damn top 10. And my number 5 goes to the Cosmic Commander of Wrestling. And I know some of you go, "Oh man, that's just like a rehashed Grand Wizard gimmick." So I didn't know about the Grand Wizard. I didn't see a lot of that stuff. You saw Lou Albano because, once that whole rock and wrestling connection happened, and in cable TV, it was everywhere. But, man, when I met Cosmo and I saw his whole gimmick, man, I loved it. I got a videotape called The Cosmic Commander's Cavalcade of Champions, which was a public access TV show that he did in San Francisco. And I don't know what you would do about putting something like that out, because it's got stuff that otherwise I guess he could have gotten in trouble for. But it had like a live meat puppet show, but a really good match with Abdullah the Butcher and the Sheik, with Bulldog Brower managing the Sheik. And but just listening to him go on, it's like this is when I first met him. He hadn't done anything for the band yet, but he did something for the band that very night at Brave New World in San Francisco. It was us and Grief. And that was a partnership that lasted all the way until he passed away a few years back. But number 4, which, especially for us guys raised on Mid-Atlantic, you might say, "Well, damn, he ain't your top 10 favorite wrestler." Yeah, but man, I really, really, really love this guy as a manager, even more so than a wrestler, because he had the gift of the gab at the microphone. He was one of the best, man. I'm talking about Mr. Number 1, Paul Jones. Now, a lot of you got the WWE Network, man. Just go back and watch some of that old Mid-Atlantic where Paul Jones was a manager. Me and I was staying at my brother's house one weekend, and he got the network just for that weekend, and that's all we did was watch Mid-Atlantic from that time period. That's the ones where I told y'all before, he was going to the TV tapings, and you could see him on the screen on a bunch of them. But Paul Jones was managing then, and man, he was amazing. Don't believe me? Go watch it. That's all you got to do. Just watch it. I don't care if you agree with me or not. Just go watch it. Then you decide. Number 3 for me. Classy Freddie Blassie. Now, James Casey, there you go. You say maybe put Kevin Sullivan. Yeah, I like Kevin Sullivan. Is he in my top 10 managers? No. He's in my top 20 wrestlers. But, because he had to give too. But, man, talking about Blassie, I even own one of his ring jackets. Oh, yeah. Talk about the gift of the gab. And he was a very successful wrestler prior. You ever seen My Dinner with Blassie, or My Breakfast with Blassie, whatever, with Andy Kaufman? That's some funny shit, man. My number 2, which would probably be a lot of people's number 1, How can you even talk about wrestling managers and not say Jim Cornette? Right? I'm right about that. I know I am. I don't need y'all to tell me that. Because, man, he took that wrestling manager thing to a whole new level when he was first, getting it going and stuff. And I love to listen to him talk about wrestling. I only want to hear Jim Cornette, though, talk about wrestling. That's all. I don't want to hear him talk about politics. I know y'all don't want to hear me talk about politics. That's why I don't talk about it very much. I take a little shot every once in a while, but just a shot. I know y'all ain't here for that. And if, I was listening to Cornette's podcast, I'm not there for politics. But man, you talk about, not only is he a gift to Gabber's wrestler, he's one of the best storytellers, retelling, his experiences in wrestling. And man, he has seen and knows and everybody. Just like my old pal, George South. So number 2 for me is Jim Cornette. I'm afraid I may have telegraphed my number 1 with my break on through ad for this week. But my favorite wrestling manager of all time, and I'm going to tell you what, this is in a world that includes the 9 people I just named. It includes Harley Race when he was managing Vader. It includes Sir Oliver Humperdinck. And you can say, y'all say Paulie Dangerously, but Paulie Dangerously as a manager always got on my damn nerves. That's just my personal opinion. But my favorite wrestling manager of all time is Gary Hart. Gary Hart. What would it not be? Oh, you want that Paul Naschy shirt? Shadow of the Werewolf, or Werewolf Shadow. Otherwise known as Vampire Woman versus the Werewolf. But anyway, getting off track here. Gary Hart. Man, listening to his raps when he brought in Kabuki is some of the best shit ever. Just go. You got the network, go watch it. Man, the one when he gave Roddy Piper the cane or something that could control Kabuki. Solid, 100% gold. Gold. I miss that guy. I know he had out a book. Some people have read it. Copies of it go on sale. I guess they're really expensive, and they're just like Xerox copies of it. But I wish somebody would pick that up, buy the rights for that, and print that. We're like, damn, Jeff Clay, why don't you buy the rights and you talk about wishing somebody to do something? Well, if I knew where to go, I wouldn't mind putting out the Gary Hart book on Long-Haired Weirdo Records. Good gosh, what are you talking about? Well, that's it for today. That's my top 10. I'm cutting it a little short today because I got some pressing matters once I leave this here room. But next week, I am going to have a special guest right here with me. One of the most unique and genuine frontmen in music today. And look, I'm going to say this. I don't mean this. This is not a slight to this person at all, but they're virtually unknown. Unless you're here in this area. It's like a great, guarded secret that we have. The front man, the driving force of the self-made monsters, Eddie Ford, will be here with me next week. And I'm going to pick a good top 10 that we can both do, because Eddie and I have a lot of the same taste in crapabilia. And there's all kind of stuff we can do. Man, it's like, I'll go ahead and tell you this about Eddie right now. Eddie's one of the type of guys, if you see, like, if you got something going on, man, and the phone rings, it's Eddie, like, you can't pick it up because you'll be on the phone with him for 3 hours. Because, you go, oh, man, I got to go. Hold on a second, man. Did you happen to see that St. Vitus bootleg? Oh, shit, yeah. And then all of a sudden, an hour has passed. He's going to be here with me next week. And they're telling us how long that show's going to go. But I just watched them play for the first time in a long time, a weekend or so ago, and man, they were incredible. They always were incredible. So listen. Once again, thank you all for joining me here today. Coming to listen to me jaw a little bit. I was going to show you the changes to the museum. I'll show you next week. I'll show you before we get Eddie settled in here. But, oh man, I had something I was going to show you. Oh, shit, I didn't even bring it now. So how prepared I am. But I got those white. Can I say white on Facebook? I got the white ANTiSEEN Possum of Judah shirts. 2 color on front. Black ink with the possum, the ANTiSEEN logo, and bright neon orange. And on the back, the Destructo, trademark of Destructo possum. A logo created by Malcolm Tent himself is on the back. So you can wear a white shirt while it's still hot, while you're out doing some yard work, so you won't. I know everybody likes to look cool and stuff, but damn, man, it gets so damn hot down here. Dressing to look cool is not wise. Dressing to be cool makes a lot more sense. So I know you're like, well, damn, Jeff, played this damn August 30th already, man. Summer ain't about over down here. We still got September to go through. And I guarantee you it's still going to be sweaty and hot at the beginning of October. So you still got some time. I don't have it up on the website yet because I told y'all I'm getting ready to build that big cartel store. I'm trying to not have my main Mike Pilmer, put so much stuff on the site until I can get that and we do the big switch over. But once again, thank you for coming. I appreciate you always showing up here on Tuesdays. And as long as you come on in the house, I'll keep doing this. All right? Take care, y'all. Have a good one.